My name is John Leonori.
And what bands did you play in?
I was in R.S.B. I was also in Cranium. Did a little bit of a cameo with Final Stand. Well, R.S.B. was formed in the early 90s on the west side of Scranton, PA. They had other members for a while. They kept shuffling and whatnot. I was asked to be the singer in 1995. I was only 15, and I was incredibly excited, so I jumped at it. Being a young, naive kid, I really didn't know that much, but I went at it, and it changed my life. Changed my life completely.
Sweet. And you were also in Cranium with some of the guys from Ossuary.
Yep.
Tell us a little about that.
Sometime around late 95, early 1996, Eric R. Music, the architect of the death metal band Ossuary, tracked me down and said he had a side project going on with the drum machine and another person playing guitar, basically doing just really, really heavy stuff, and he wanted me to sing for it, and you know, I was honored with the fact that he asked, and we did that. That lasted for about 2 years on and off. We put out a full-length tape, and that was it. That was late 1995, I believe. I was contacted by the brother of one of my guitar players in R.S.B. Guy had a pool hall under, it was basically the basement of James. We had a big shopping center. They had a pool hall down there. It wasn't too large, but he said he wanted to do concerts. And I agreed to help. We moved a bunch of pool tables out of the way. It was very, very low key. But we had a stage there. There was like an area where there was a snack bar and whatnot. Took the railings and all the tables off of there. That served as the stage. But the thing about it is, he didn't really know too much about how much money he could make, and that was pretty cool. And it was my responsibility not to exploit that. So what ended up happening was that we were able to have cheap shows. $5, $6 at the door was the highest we went. And that was the first opportunity that I had to actually put shows together, and then actually pay bands too. Everybody got paid. At the very least, everybody got gas money, and it was a good time. It was a shame that it closed. The facility was bought out. They ended up raising it. Now there's a Walmart there. Go figure.
You had a lot of amazing bands pass through there. I think even shut down second show ever was there.
I don't think it was their second show ever. I'm pretty sure they played a lot more shows before then. But I do believe it was their second show in Pennsylvania that was at Q's. CC's, look, say what you will, and I certainly have said some unflattering things about that place. But in hindsight, after all these years, that place really that place meant a lot to a lot of people. And now that we're older, you can see the effect that it had. And honestly, maybe we didn't really appreciate it for all that it was worth. But what ended up happening was when I got in R.S.B. in '95, we played a few shows down at CC's. And of course, I would talk to Vince, and he would ask people's opinions, like showgoers. He would say, oh, I got this band, they want this much, I'd have to charge this much at the door, what do you guys think? Will people show up? And based on our advice, he would go from there. I asked for a date once if I could just book a show to see how it goes, and we brought All Out War down, and there was at least 300 people there. We pushed it well, and it went from that point. Vince started to give me dates about 2 to 3 months in advance, and he said, hey, do your stuff, we'll set it up. And the 2 Memorial Day festivals, actually there were 3 of them, I got to do those. That was an opportunity to do something like this. Start at noon, just go all the way into the night, and have a show where basically you have like about 7 or 8 headliners. It was an opportunity to bring bring hardcore bands into the Scranton area who pretty much wouldn't have any other way. We had a gym in that club because it was situated right between Scranton and Wilkes-Barre, halfway in a town called Music. Through networking and talking to people and whatnot, I was able to get in touch with a lot of people in bands and just try to get everybody into the Scranton area, and it just blossomed. The one thing that I would say about that time though is that I was like 15, 16 years old at the time, And I really didn't, I was very naive and I didn't know exactly the inner workings of things. So basically what I would do, I would book the show and I'd talk to the people in the bands and I would say, yeah, you know, Vince will give you, you know, Vince will pay or whatever. And what ended up happening a lot of the times was I didn't get it in writing. I didn't know enough to get things in writing. And a lot of people were put in difficult positions, you know. So I still get a lot of credit for shows that we did back there, but the truth of the matter is I didn't always, I was a young, naive, dumb teenager and I didn't have everything together, you know. But I mean, we had a blast. Some of those shows, some of the favorite lineup I'd like to do would be All Out War, Candiria, E-Town Concrete, you know.
How about what drew you to this scene to begin with?
Music, just a love for music. When I was younger, you know, say like 12, 11, my sister would take me to metal shows at CC's, in fact. And then through hanging out with friends at school or, you know, friends in the neighborhood, whatever, go to hardcore shows. And, you know, being a little kid, I really didn't know what it was about. I think the first show I went to was Option, actually.
Might as well just wait. It's not.
Is it coming through?
Fucking band.